When you think of Egypt, you probably picture pyramids and mummies. But did you know there's a spring festival with fermented fish? Or that Cairo is louder than New York? Stick around for some wild facts about Egypt that go way beyond the ancient tombs. Where is Egypt and how big is it? Egypt is that iconic corner of North Africa that stretches a finger into Asia. Yep, the Sinai Peninsula is technically in Asia. It's huge, about 1 million square kilometers big. That's larger than France and Germany combined. And it's got 2,900 kilometers of stunning coastlines along the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. And its population? With 118 million people as of 2025, Egypt is the third most populous country in Africa, just behind Nigeria and Ethiopia, and ranks 13th in the world. Most of them live along the Nile River, making it one of the most densely populated riverbanks on Earth. What language do they speak? The official language is Egyptian Arabic, a local dialect that's super expressive and full of history. But in schools, news, and formal settings, they use modern Standard Arabic. You'll also hear French or English in touristy areas, and a few religious communities still use Coptic, the ancient language derived from Pharaonic Egyptian. Now, about its culture. They have festivals with flavor. Abu Simbel Sun Festival. Twice a year, the sun perfectly aligns and lights up the inner temple of Ramses II. Yes, ancient architects were rock stars. Sham el-Nessim, a spring picnic tradition where Egyptians eat fermented fish, fasik, and paint eggs. It's kind of like Easter, but with funkier smells. Cairo Jazz Festival and El Gauna Film Festival. Egypt goes global with arts, film, and music. And its dance and arts? Ever heard of Tanura dance? Think of colorful whirling dervishes spinning non-stop. Traditional Baladi dancing? That's the OG belly dance. And the crafts. Cairo is full of vibrant markets selling kayamiya, colorful textile art used in tents and ceremonies. Now, the religion in Egypt. Islam is the major religion, followed by about 90% of the population, mostly Sunni. The remaining 10%, mostly Coptic Orthodox Christians. A church with ancient roots going back to the 1st century. What's the environment like? Deserts dominate. We're talking giant sandy seas, part of the Sahara and Nubian Desert. Perfect for desert safaris or pretending you're in a Star Wars movie. The Nile River and its delta are the beating heart of the country. Lush, green, and where nearly everyone lives. Coastal areas along the Med and Red Seas offer beaches, coral reefs, and epic scuba diving. Oases like Siwa and Bahariya feel like real-life mirages with palm trees and date farms. So, what's the weather like? Hot and dry almost everywhere. Classic desert vibes. The North Coast has a Mediterranean feel, milder winters and warm summers. Mount Sinai can get surprisingly chilly, even snowy in winter. Fun fact, some parts of Egypt can go years without a single drop of rain. Pack your sunscreen. Now, the cities you need to know. Cairo, the massive capital, over 22 million people, is loud, chaotic, magical, and full of ancient and modern life. Giza, technically part of Greater Cairo, home to the Great Pyramids. Yep, the real ones. Alexandria, a breezy port city founded by Alexander the Great. Think seafood, libraries, and Roman ruins. Luxor and Aswan, giant open-air museums with temples, tombs, and a ton of history. El Gauna, modern beach resort with international flair. Suez and Port Said, where the famous Suez Canal connects the Red Sea to the Mediterranean and the global economy. What's up with Egypt's economy? The currency is the Egyptian pound, EGP. Currently around 47 EGP to $1, so your dollars can stretch pretty far. Inflation? Yep, it's been high lately, 16% in mid-2025, but stabilizing. Egypt's economy relies on tourism, the Suez Canal, and agriculture, and it's one of Africa's biggest economies. Around 30% of the population lives below the poverty line, but the country has huge infrastructure and agriculture projects underway, like greening the desert. Fun or not so fun fact, there have been bread protests in the past. Yes, bread is that important. It's even called aish, meaning life in Arabic. And finally, the Egyptian food, starting with koshari, the national dish, a carb party of rice, pasta, lentils, chickpeas, and fried onions, topped with tomato sauce. Trust us, it slaps. Full medams. Mashed fava beans with oil, lemon, and garlic. Usually eaten for breakfast. Tamaya. Egyptian-style falafel made with fava beans instead of chickpeas. Fater meshaltet. Flaky pastry that's kind of like a buttery pizza. You can go sweet or savory. Even Obama had it on his visit. Kak. Sugar-dusted cookies traditionally eaten during Eid. And that's all for today. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. See you next time.